Well, how about this? The Eagles' top trade target was just released this morning, and now reports are already linking him to Philadelphia, what could be a blockbuster signing to help fix this crazy bad secondary. We also talk about this bizarre tweet that had Eagle fans all thinking one Giants player was guaranteed to sign with Philadelphia until I debunked it. Also in today's video, there are 3 more reports that give explicit details as to why Saquon Barkley might be more affordable and a real option for Philadelphia, whether you want him or not. And Nick Foles wished Jason Kelce a happy retirement in the best BDE way he could. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. I think each day this week has gotten wilder and wilder and wilder, with more news dropping. Just last night, the Birds are releasing longtime nickel cornerback Avonte Maddox per Adam Schefter. And as you already know by now, it will save about $2 million in cap space, creating a little over $44 million for Howie Roseman to go buck wild in free agency. Well, I'm sure, of course, Avonte Maddox's BFF Dallas Goedert is crushed by this news. The good news is that reports are suggesting Philadelphia might bring Maddox back for a much lower price tag on more of a team-friendly deal. Whether you agree with this or not, it was time for Avonte Maddox to no longer be a guaranteed starter in Philadelphia. He played just 4 games this past season due to injury, making it his 5th year in 6 total seasons where he played less than 16 games. Now, when healthy, he's a really good nickel cornerback. He's probably still a really good nickel cornerback, but that's the key. When healthy, he's never been healthy, and so Philadelphia to say, hey, we don't want to be on the hook for $9.6 million this year. We'll cut you, maybe bring you back, but the Eagles clearly wanting to move on. The good news is the secondary market is insane, and there were a ton of older veteran safeties who were released left and right this past week, including this guy. More on him in 1 second. Hang on. But Birds fans went nuts yesterday when arguably the best and also the youngest free agent safety, Giants' Xavier McKinney, seemingly hinted at becoming an Eagle. Or that's what the headlines told you, until, of course, you realize this all stems from one tweet where McKinney said, quote, "starting to see this life blank from a bird's view." Again, welcome to free agency, where you'll read a headline that says Xavier McKinney wants to be an Eagle, and you go, wow, what did he say? And he just said the word bird, and so it's like, that means he wants to be an Eagle? Well, that was debunked really quickly, and in fact, McKinney shortly after that infamous tweet sent out another one saying, y'all funny, I'm just trying to play my 2K and vibe. So this reminds me, obviously, of the JariusSneed bird emoji that he posted on his Instagram account 2 weeks ago that guaranteed JariusSneed was going to be an Eagle. Oh man, you guys just can't believe everything that you read. Also, by the way, SI.com reported yesterday, if you wanted JariusSneed, which none of us really do at this point because they franchise tagged him, it'll cost a 2nd-round draft pick and $20 million a year. So, yeah, that one's officially dead. Now, don't get me wrong, McKinney is great, and I think the Eagles should definitely pursue him. He's young, he's talented, fit the box that Philadelphia has been trying to check off for the past couple of seasons post-Malcolm Jenkins, but he's probably the most expensive safety in what is a crazy packed class. And, of course, I know Zach Berman tweeted yesterday that the Eagles will be aggressive in free agency. They want to add a defensive player in his prime to a multi-year deal, but I wouldn't get my hopes up for the young safety McKinney just yet because, again, they might try to go a little bit cheaper and a little bit older. And, of course, that cheaper and older option is the one we talked about a couple of days ago in Denver's Justin Simmons. Should I say now former Denver Bronco Justin Simmons, as the Broncos straight up released the 30-year-old safety this morning, meaning if Philadelphia wants him, you don't have to trade for him anymore. That's a huge, huge plus for Howie and company. Now, I know what you're thinking. Thomas, you said just yesterday on the Wednesday Link Live, you don't want any defensive players over the age of 30. You want to go younger, and that's still true. I mean, I'd rather have Xavier McKinney, but you're telling me Justin Simmons is now available on the free agent market, and his ties to Vic Fangio mean this seems like the right move. I mean, Albert Breer pointed out a few minutes ago that Justin Simmons would be an interesting player for the Eagles, who worked through issues last year at safety, and look at that. His DB coach from Denver, Christian Parker, along with Fangio, is now in Philly. They need to get younger on D, but Simmons still makes sense. I'd take a flyer on him. I mean, absolutely, why not? You still have young safeties currently on the roster. Blankenship is young and obviously injured, but Sidney Brown is also very, very young as well. Why not get Justin Simmons, who probably still has 1 or 2 good, maybe great years left, be that bridge safety to kind of bring in the new era of young players? Sure, draft one as well, but Simmons' age to me is a little less of a turnoff than what it could be for other positions. Plus, pair all of this with Diana Rossini's tweet this morning saying that many GMs are approaching this free agency as the running back, linebacker, and safety markets to be similar to the past. Lower deals than we may imagine, depressed market for those positions, a lot of 1-year deals. I mean, come on, Simmons has led the league in interceptions since 2020, and that's the entire league. And what did the Birds do last year? They couldn't get an interception to save their life, it felt like. You can see why I'm getting a little bit excited about the news of him being released today. And again, let's just put a bow on it here. He's going to be way cheaper. I think he was going to cost $14 million this season if he was going to stay in the final year of his deal in Denver. It'll be a lot cheaper than that, probably $6 to $8 million, and the Eagles have 44 in cap space. So so this could be a very, very big possibility. Drop a like if you guys agree. Now, before you click away at the mention of Saquon Barkley's name, because we've talked about him like 900 times this week, just know I'm only bringing him back up today because there were not one, not two, 3 new reports that link Barkley to Philadelphia literally this morning. First of which was the New York Post, Ryan Dunleavy, who tweeted, "The interest is mutual. Saquon of the Eagles is a real possibility. I've had Eagles on my list of landing spots for weeks." Followed shortly by Jacob Rabati, who tweeted just a couple of minutes ago that, "I can confirm the Eagles are interested in Giants halfback Saquon Barkley, though I'm unsure the likelihood of a potential signing at the moment." And of course, the third is Eagles Sunday reporter, and yeah, sometimes resident loudmouth, Howard Eskin on WIP this morning, confirming the whole thing.
I didn't believe it, but I checked it. And they do have interest in Saquon Barkley. And I'm saying,
that makes sense.
Wait a minute. You can't pay a running back that kind of money. That's why they keep on bouncing around. And, the thing I've always said, you can just shake a tree and running backs come falling out of them. You see all the running backs that are unsigned, but I think they're trying to work on something that would not be fully guaranteed. And he's not going to get the money. He's not going to get, obviously.
He's not going to get $10 million. Look,
money.
He might be $5 million or $6 million. I mean,
yeah. The thing that Saquon Barkley, and this is where Swift did a great job, but you can move on from Swift. And I think one of the reasons they will move on, they're going to get at least a 4th-round pick for him, maybe a 3rd in compensation. Here's what I think they're looking for, John: a running back that can also catch the football.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Swift wasn't the receiver that they like with the way, and I would think that Kellen Moore is going to kind of be in the same the same boat, the same classroom of having a running back that can catch the football, and that's what Barkley can do.
Okay, so again, lots of reports on this. Don't shoot the messenger here. I'm just the messenger. I'm not reporting it, not saying I want him, but it seems like Eskin's point that he could be getting a lot less money than you would think means the intrigue for the 26-year-old is a little bit more than I've had the past couple of days. What about Barkley on a $5 to $6 million deal? Like $5 to $6 million, 2 or 3 years, is that the worst move in franchise history? I don't think so. Although it is worth noting that if Saquon were to get more from like the Texans or the Chargers, Jacob Rabati did also tweet this morning that AndreSwift's re-signing isn't off the table either, saying a source suggested to me last night that D-Swift's re-signing with Philly on a 1-year deal is very possible, as a potential market not being as gracious a position is expected. So it sounds like you have backup plans. Saquon doesn't work out, Derrick Henry doesn't work out, Austin Eckler doesn't work out. You could just go back to AndreSwift, who's tried, true, and tested, and probably get him for like a 1-year, $3 or $4 million deal. All in all, free agency is setting up very, very nicely for Philadelphia. The 3 big-time positions that are all over the market right now are linebacker, safety, and running back. And what do Philadelphia, really, what do they need? Linebacker, safety, and running back. It's safe to assume that even with 9 draft picks in April's NFL draft, where you can get a lot of young players as well, maybe corner in the first round, they can get their safety knocked off, their running back knocked off, and maybe a free agent linebacker or re-signs Zach Cunningham next week. Now, side note, if you want an update on the punter spot, which I know you do, the Eagles are actively negotiating with Braden Mann to return to Philadelphia according to the Liberty Line. And yes, we put this at the end of today's video because punter are people too, but they're not that important. But if you wanted a big-time signing that could be happening soon, Braden Mann could be your guy. Now, of course, we've been mentioning Jason Kelce all week long as he continues his farewell tour. And yesterday, the brand new Heights episode dropped following his wild retirement week. And honestly, there was a really good part where multiple NFL players, actually a lot of NFL players, were all, giving their pre-recorded thanks to Kelce and wishing him a happy retirement, and Kelce's getting all excited. And then the legendary Big Dick Nick popped up on the screen and gave probably the best well-wishing he possibly could.
I'm so proud of you. Such an honor being your teammate. I'm so excited about what's next for you. As always, great speech. Everyone loved it.
I'm sure
we
you
got
did.
Some great
With
laughs,
a grin.
some tears, everything in between. I hope you're working on your pickleball game. I know we're talking a little smack about it. And also, your beer chug game.
Dude.
Nick, yeah!
Still got it.
Never usually get so famous and not change.
Anytime you get a Nick Foles cameo on this show or just in general, it's going to be a very good day. Nick Foles is so crazy because he wins the Super Bowl and then comes back in 2018, but then goes elsewhere to Jacksonville, or was it Kansas City? I can't remember. Either way, he disappeared. Now he's like a professional pickleball player or whatever it is, but he just kind of vibing, living his life, knowing that he's one of the biggest legends in Eagles history. We don't really see him enough. I wish they'd get him around the link a little bit more. Like, imagine having Nick Foles on the sideline out for the coin toss during an NFC championship game. That could be pretty fun, and the crowd would go absolutely nuts. Shout out to Nick Foles. Again, not talked about enough, not, I think, appreciated enough, even though we all actually love him. Fun to see him on the show today. Now, I can understand if you're tired of all the free agency rumors, because none of this is factual. Like none of this is guaranteed. Are we gonna get Barkley? I don't know. Are we gonna get Justin Simmons? I don't know. Xavier McKinney? I don't know. But this is what this week and next week are gonna be. A lot of rumors and some news. And the good news is that of all the rumors we're gonna cover here, we'll be the first to cover all the real hard news as well. And so when they sign somebody next week, whether it's the report on Monday, whether we get to it on Tuesday, myself, Josh Davis, the Philly Special Show, we will have it live for you. We're gonna be on call all next week, ready to give you guys the latest updates. So if you haven't turned on your notifications, I'd encourage you to do that, because sometimes YouTube doesn't actually send the show when I drop it to your subscription box, which is weird. But also subscribe as well, because again, I keep saying it, but I mean it very, very sincerely. It's gonna be a wild week next week. Buckle up for that. I'm Thomas Mott, covering it all here. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.